Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Fink. The hockey season's underway, and here are my five favorite bets for Saturday, October 11th. My first favorite bet is the Boston money line against the Buffalo Sabres. You're getting it is minus 130, but these are great odds. The Bruins are 2-0. They're off to a red hot start. The Sabres lost their opening night game. And the question is whether the Bruins are going to come back to norm or not, or whether they're going to regress. But they've had two convincing wins against the Chicago Blackhawks and against the Washington Capitals. I like them against the Sabres team that really could not find their footing opening night. They lost 4-0, and that is not a lot of promise in Buffalo. So hammer the Bruins money line on that one. My second favorite bet is the Maple Leafs money line. It's similar. You're getting minus 150 odds. They came off a convincing 5-2 win against the Montreal Canadiens in their first game. They're playing a Red Wings team that played those similar Montreal Canadiens, and they lost five. They lost 5-1, an embarrassing loss on their home ice. So I like the Toronto Maple Leafs here. I like them to win this game and win this game handily. Even if you can get them to cover the spread, I would take that. Their defense looks great. They look like one of those teams that's going to be one of the best in the Eastern Conference. It looks like losing Mitch Marner is not as big a deal as people thought. I like them across the board in this one, so take them. That's a great bet there. My next bet is also a money line bet. It is Rangers. The New York Rangers. They're getting minus 150 odds against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They played the Pittsburgh Penguins on opening night and lost that game 3-0, an embarrassing loss for them. But they're facing them again. They're trying to even up the score against the Penguins. They had a convincing win. They're coming off a big win. I like the Rangers here to bounce back, even up the score against the Penguins, who are red hot right now, but aren't one of the best teams in the NHL. They're one of those teams that's off to a hot start, but it's expected to regress. This is a good line to get on the Rangers, so take them. That's a good bet there. I like that one. My fourth bet is the under on Avalanche Stars. It's under 5.5. This is interesting because the Stars are coming off a 5-4 win against the Winnipeg Jets. A lot of goals there. Their offense looks great, and their offense looks like it's going to be great all season with Mikko Rantanen leading the way. That said, the Avalanche surprisingly have looked great on the defensive end this season, at least through two games, allowing one goal in each of their first two. I like this to be a low scoring game. You have Jake Ottinger is expected to bounce back, one of the best goaltenders in the NHL. So expect him to bounce back. Expect the Avalanche to look great defensively. Expect the Stars defense to bounce back as well and have a low scoring game between two of the best teams in the Central Division and the NHL. That's a fun one to just watch in general if you're a casual fan. And my last bet is the over on the Montreal Canadiens versus the Chicago Blackhawks. Interestingly, the under has covered in the last two games that Montreal Canadiens have played. That said, they are coming off a 5-goal game, and their offense looks like it's finding its footing. Zach Bolduc, by the way, has 3 goals in his first two games. So an anytime goal scorer, maybe keep that in mind for Zach Bolduc, one of the forwards on the Montreal Canadiens. And they're coming off a big game offensively, and so are the Chicago Blackhawks, scoring 3 goals in their previous game. I like the over in that game and expect it to be a high scoring game with both offenses stepping up. All right, that's all for me. I hope you enjoyed, and let's make some money with some of our bets.